Hi, I'm Rick Kahler. Thanks for joining me. What is financial well-being? A researcher based in Berlin recently asked me that question, and I had a bit of a struggle answering it, in part because I write and talk a lot about what financial well-being is not. One straightforward definition of what financial well-being is comes from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Its definition was that financial well-being is a state of being wherein a person can fully meet current and ongoing financial obligations, can feel secure in their financial future, and is able to make choices that allow them to enjoy life. The authors define this even more by saying financial well-being includes a feeling of control over day-to-day finances, the capacity to absorb a financial shock, and being on point to reach financial goals and having the means to make choices that make life enjoyable. The CFPB's research showed that on a scale between 0 and 100, around a third of U.S. adults scored 50 or below in financial well-being. Another third scored between 51 and 60, and another third scored 61 or above. Income is not necessarily a predictor of financial well-being, as someone with lower income can have a higher financial well-being than someone with higher income. The last bit of information is where things start to get tricky because it brings emotional well-being into the equation. Emotional well-being is defined by the National Institutes of Health as an overall positive state of one's emotions, life satisfaction, sense of meaning and purpose, and ability to pursue self-defined goals. So, what comes first? Emotional or financial well-being? What impact do they have on each other? Well, I've long contended that financial well-being embraces both financial and emotional components. It's not simply about having enough to be financially comfortable, but it's also about being emotionally comfortable around the role of money in your life. I think it's possible to have an abundance of money and still experience emotional, physical, or psychological strain that precludes having emotional well-being. For example, I once worked with a client who couldn't sleep because she was obsessed with financial worry. She had a net worth of $15 million. Did she have financial well-being? Well, she certainly could meet current and ongoing financial obligations, yet she did not feel secure in her financial future. She certainly had the money to make choices that would allow her to enjoy life, yet she was not making those choices. It would appear that there was a direct emotional component that kept her from enjoying financial well-being. It's also possible for a person to lack financial well-being and still at least appear to enjoy emotional well-being. Take a person who's happily accumulating credit card debt every month to fund their lifestyle. They feel no stress. They feel secure in their financial future because of a money script that the money will always appear. They're using money, which is borrowed, to make choices that allow them to enjoy life. They have the money, again borrowed, to pay current obligations. Their illusion of financial well-being falls apart when one looks at their financial future, which is anything but secure, as their borrowing is just unsustainable. The lack of stress is unrealistic. So it's felt, but it's unrealistic and anchored in denial, which actually makes it an indicator of a lack of emotional well-being. So my conclusion to all this is that emotional well-being and financial well-being cannot be viewed as separate. Some level of financial security is necessary to support emotional well-being, and some level of emotional well-being is necessary to enjoy financial abundance. It's almost impossible, in my view, to have one without the other. Thanks for listening.